The galaxy was at war. The Praetorians, a brutal alien species with advanced technology and an unyielding thirst for domination, had been sweeping through the stars for decades. Their goal was simple: conquer, subjugate, and control every planet in their path. In their wake, they left nothing but destruction. For years, the Galactic Coalition, an alliance of various species, had been fighting desperately to hold their ground, but the Praetorians were relentless. Planet after planet fell, hope was fading, and the Coalition was losing the will to fight. It was only a matter of time before the Praetorians would invade the heart of the Coalition's territory, and when that happened, the galaxy would fall. The battle had already started. The Praetorian fleet had arrived in full force, and their ships filled the skies above the capital planet of the Galactic Coalition, Aurelia. The Coalition's fleet, though brave, was vastly outnumbered. The planet's defenses were crumbling, and it seemed like victory was slipping further from their grasp with each passing moment. Admiral Vex, the leader of the Galactic Coalition's forces, stood aboard the command ship, watching the devastation unfold on the view screen. His eyes were heavy with exhaustion and grief. The Praetorians had breached the outer defense line, and now they were making their way to the planet's surface. The rest of the fleet was scattered, and their ships were no match for the sheer size and firepower of the Praetorian armada. "Admiral," said Lieutenant Tessa, his most trusted officer, as she approached him, "we've lost communication with the outer sectors. The fleet is falling apart. It's only a matter of time before they break through our final line of defense." Vex clenched his fists. "I know," he said, his voice quiet but resolute. "But we can't give up. Not yet. We need to hold on long enough for reinforcements to arrive." But even as he spoke, Vex knew that the reinforcements were not coming. There was no one left to call. The Praetorians had wiped out most of the fleet, and the last remaining ships were too damaged to continue the fight. It was then, in the darkest moment of despair, that something unexpected happened. A faint signal flickered on the communication screen. It was weak, distant, but it was there. Vex's heart skipped a beat. "What is that?" he asked, his voice tinged with disbelief. It's a signal from the outer rim," Lieutenant Tessa replied, her fingers flying across the console. "It's coming from a human fleet." Vex's brow furrowed. "A human fleet? There's no way. That humans..." "Sir," Tessa interrupted, her voice filled with awe. "The fleet? It's not just any human fleet. It's massive. She paused, searching for the words. "It's a secret fleet." The realization hit Vex like a lightning bolt. He knew that humans had been part of the Galactic Coalition for decades, but their influence had always been limited. They had been seen as an afterthought, too young, too inexperienced, and far too isolated to be a serious military power. But that perception was about to change. The signal grew stronger. Vex watched in stunned silence as the coordinates appeared on the screen. The fleet was coming, fast. And by the looks of it, they were bringing more than just ships. "We need to prepare," Vex said, rallying his officers. "Activate all remaining defenses. We need to hold out just a little longer." But as he gave his orders, the faintest glimmer of light appeared in the distance. A starship, sleek and gleaming, broke through the chaos of battle and shot towards the Praetorian fleet at impossible speed. And then, like a floodgate opening, the sky was filled with ships, thousands of them, each one more advanced than anything the Praetorians had ever seen. The Praetorian fleet hesitated for a moment. They had never encountered such power. The new human ships were unlike anything the galaxy had ever known. They were fast, heavily armed, and swarmed the battlefield like a wave of steel. Their energy shields shimmered with an unearthly glow, absorbing every blast from the Praetorian weapons. "Impossible," Vex whispered in awe. How did they do this?" The answer came in the form of a booming voice over the comms. "Admiral Vex, this is Fleet Commander Jane Holloway of the United Earth Defense Force. We've arrived to assist." Vex's eyes widened. He had heard rumors of humanity's secret fleet, an advanced armada built in secrecy during the early days of the war, but no one had believed it was real. Now the truth was before him. We're saved," Vex said, his voice breaking. "Thank the stars. We might actually win this." The Praetorian fleet, taken aback by the sudden appearance of the human armada, regrouped in a desperate attempt to retaliate. But they were too slow. The humans were a force like no other. Their ships moved with fluid precision, outmaneuvering and outgunning the Praetorian vessels. Human pilots were everywhere. They danced around the Praetorian ships with the ease of seasoned veterans. In a matter of minutes, the human fleet had turned the tide of battle. The Praetorian ships, once the predators of the galaxy, were now retreating. The once unstoppable war machine was falling apart. Vex watched, astonished, as the Praetorian fleet began to scatter. The battle had shifted from a sure defeat to a total victory. The human fleet, now fully engaged, was pushing the Praetorians back, eliminating ship after ship with ruthless efficiency. And just like that, the galaxy's fate had changed. When the last Praetorian ship exploded in a brilliant flash of light, silence descended on the battlefield. The once mighty Praetorian fleet was no more. Aurelia had been saved, and the Galactic Coalition had a fighting chance once again. Admiral Vex turned to Lieutenant Tessa, a smile finally breaking through his exhaustion. "It's over." But Tessa's eyes were still glued to the screen, watching the human ships as they continued to patrol the outer rim. "This is just the beginning, sir," she said, her voice filled with respect. "The humans have proven they are a force to be reckoned with." Vex nodded slowly. "Humanity. They've shown us all what true strength looks like. The Praetorians won't be back anytime soon." And so, with the Praetorian threat defeated, a new era began, a time when humanity would no longer be underestimated, and the galaxy would forever remember the day that the human secret fleet saved them all.